Hello guys, welcome back to another video. We are going to be breaking down and recapping UFC 278 Usman versus Edwards 2, and we have a crazy card for this weekend. It is absolutely insane. Just basically the last few fights, all these other fights, they're a bunch of unranked people. Doesn't mean like the fights aren't like the outcomes of the fights aren't crazy or anything like that, but just like the level of competition was not there. But it was still a pretty solid card just from the main card, the latter half of the main card, really. But yeah, let's get straight into it. First off, we have Victor Altamirano versus Daniel da Silva. This fight, Victor Altamirano does get rocked pretty badly. He gets sent on his back pretty early. Daniel da Silva jumps on him, tries to do some ground and pound. They do end up back on the feet, and yeah, Altamirano does hit him with a I'm trying to remember what it was, but I think it was just a hook, right? It was the hook. He knocked him down, I believe. I'm not going to say what it was specifically, but he does end up knocking Daniel da Silva down and ground and pounding the crap out of him. But yeah, good win for Altamirano in the first round. Pretty cool fight to watch, pretty entertaining fight to watch. They came out very fast. But yeah, that's all I got for you for that fight. Congrats to Victor Altamirano, very entertaining. Moving on up the card to Aoriqileng versus Jay Perrin. This fight goes to decision. First round, I would give it to Aoriqileng, but yeah. The second round, Jay Perrin makes it very close, I believe, from what I remember. Oh no, I'm sorry. Third round, Jay Perrin makes it very competitive. The whole fight was relatively competitive. The first round, it was pretty obvious that Aoriqileng was the more skilled fighter than Jay Perrin. He was a little bit more tougher, had stronger hands. Basically, what it was, Aoriqileng had very strong hands. Was hitting Jay Perrin very hard, stunning him, not allowing him to do much on the feet. But yeah, I think Aoriqileng probably wins the first two rounds. Second round was very close, but I do give it to Aoriqileng just based on damage. Third round, Jay Perrin does beat up Aoriqileng pretty badly. Sends a lot of combos against the cage right before the round ended. So yeah, Jay Perrin was, I believe, one of my underdogs. I wasn't super confident in him, but he did do a solid job. Was pretty competitive here. Wasn't super confident in it though. That was like one of my, I can see a chance for him to win it. So I'm just gonna put it out. I think I need to be careful on the underdogs I choose nowadays. I think after that one card, most recent ones, Santos and Hill, I was like, I barely chose any underdogs. I need to choose a bunch more now. I think I need to show because my records are getting a little weird on the last couple cards. So, yeah, good win for Aoriqileng. Very impressive job by Jay Perrin to hang in there. Yeah, let's move on up the card to Amir Albazi versus Francisco Figueiredo. In this fight, Amir Albazi, I believe Amir takes him down, grounds and pound Francisco Figueiredo. Not much really happens in this. And then I think when they get up, Francisco Figueiredo puts him in a knee bar, and then Amir Albazi was able to reverse it into back mount where he was able to get a rear naked choke. And yeah, that's how the fight basically went. Nothing crazy there. I did choose Amir Albazi. Yeah, good win for him. Isn't crazy on the feet, but is very good on the ground. Very impressive win for him. Let's move on up the card to next fight. Ange Loosa versus AJ Fletcher. I chose AJ Fletcher. He was not able to get it done. There was a chance. There was a very, very big point in the fight where he could have ended it, which he didn't, which is very sad. First round, I would give it to Ange Loosa. Was a lot faster, and I don't know what the reach advantage is here, because Ange Loosa did definitely look really long in the fight. Yeah, 7-inch reach advantage for Ange Loosa. Looked really good, very fast on the feet with his hands. Was able to use his length quite a bit in the first round and the third round. Second round, there was a point in the fight I guess Fletcher finally was like, screw it, I'm going to go in there. And then he started throwing a bunch of combos at Ange Loosa, getting him against the cage, and he was rocking Ange Loosa everywhere. Probably could have ended the fight. Like, Ange Loosa looked like he was about to go out. And then AJ Fletcher shot for a takedown and then just sat there for the rest of the round for like a minute. Was not a very smart move for him. Even if he like super gassed out, like, you might as well just die on that sword, because I think once you're gassed, like, if you're going in the third round and you're just going to be on your back like for 5 minutes, I just don't see the point in doing it. A lot of people were saying the fight should have been stopped in the second round. I don't necessarily see it. Loosa didn't really like go out like he didn't. There's nothing in that fight that said like, oh, I'm done. Like, he was defending, he was staying, he was working. So I don't think it should have been ended, but I think Fletcher definitely should have like kept striking on him instead of shooting. But yeah, good win for Ange Loosa. Second loss in a row for AJ Fletcher. So yeah, let's move on up the card. Pretty solid fight too. Pretty solid scrap. Moving on. This was Miranda Maverick versus Shauna Young. I believe this fight got taken off the card because it says Young was hospitalized during a weight cut. So yeah, best of luck to her. But I did pick Miranda Maverick here. I do think she would have won though. So yeah, let's move on. Oh, Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldaña. This was a very interesting fight. Luis Saldaña looked really good in this fight early. Sean Woodson did not look good. I wonder if he had like some kind of injury or something. I was not sure. He was really slow. It's hard to believe this was the same dude that beat Terrence McKinney, but yeah, very weird fight overall. The first round, freaking Luis Saldaña knocks him down with a jab, or I believe. Sean Woodson gets up, he's taunting him or whatever. He knocks him down again and then runs and freaking knees him while he's still on the ground like an idiot. Was not very smart. I just don't get it. And then he followed up with punches. It looked like Sean Woodson was out. I'm just gonna be honest. I was surprised he continued the fight. I get that they want to give him a chance to keep fighting, but I mean, like, the dude was going, like, he took a knee, he was out. I don't know if he was out cold, but he was taking follow-up shots, and he was, like, in any other situation, he would have been done before the fight. Instead, they stand him up, and he was like, you want to keep fighting? Like, he said, yeah. I was like, all right. And I guess it is his choice after all. He was getting hurt pretty badly, like, his chin didn't seem like it was there. But yeah, this fight ended up being a split draw. Not majority draw, but split draw. But yeah, because of the grounded to knee opponent, was a point taken away. I don't know if Luis Saldaña did get a 9-8, because he did beat up Sean Woodson pretty bad in that fight, or if it was 9-9. I haven't checked the official scorecards, but yeah, very weird fight. I think I wasn't too sure. I would have edged this to Saldaña because he looked a lot better. But yeah, it was an all right fight. Early on, he could have just won multiple times, but he didn't. Luis Saldaña, that is, and he didn't. So yeah, let's move on up the card to this fight got moved to the main card. So it was Wu Yanan versus Ludi. What is it? What is that? Lucie Paldovia. This fight was interesting. I said they would circle the whole time. That's basically what they did. Lucie was able to take down Wu Yanan a couple times. I'll hold her there, do a little bit of damage there, and then I think Wu Yanan took her down also. I believe this fight ends in Lucie choking her out, which was very nice. It's very nice for her to do that for us, because it was not a very entertaining fight. I mean, it was an alright fight, but in the second round she does choke her out. Yeah, good win for her. Not much to say. She was a favorite, so it was nice to see a favorite in a women's fight, a lower level women's fight win. So yeah, let's move on up the card to Leonardo Santos versus Jared Gordon. I chose the underdog on Santos. It probably wasn't a smart idea. I wasn't super comfortable on it. He's a lot older. I did say cardio was probably going to be an issue in this fight, and it definitely seemed like it was, especially at elevation. You can't really see too much there, but elevation did not help Leonardo Santos at all. But yeah, Jared Gordon probably could have done more in this fight to get the win, which he didn't. There was a spot in like the second or third round where Leonardo Santos did have Jared Gordon's back against the cage. He's going to pull him down, but he held on to the cage, which is very annoying. I hate seeing that. It really bothers me. And there will be a lot more of that in the main event. But yeah, that did kind of bother me a little bit. Kind of gassed Leonardo Santos out. Was done for the rest of the fight. Leonardo Santos really couldn't hit Jared Gordon in the early rounds. First round, probably first part of the second round too. Finally shot a takedown, couldn't get him down. But yeah, good one for Jared Gordon. I think he probably could have done more here, like try to KO him or something. But I think there was a spot at the end of the fight where they were just laying on top of each other. I'm not too sure. I think at the end of the second round, I think Jared Gordon kind of just gave up. Didn't really fight for the last 5 seconds. I was like, what the hell are they doing? Like, they just stopped and just walked away. I was like, okay. But yeah, solid win for him. Yeah, let's move on up the card. Because stuff switched, this isn't exactly the main card, but this is a main card fight. Tyson Pedro KOs him in seconds. Yeah, good one for him. I think it was a body shot. Yeah, he hurt Henry Hunsucker, body shots him. He's pretty much over. Pretty good job by Tyson Pedro. His shots were stinging pretty badly. I think this was at light heavyweight, right? So yeah, this is a good division for him. His shots were stinging. I don't know if he previously fight it. I think he did previously fight at light heavyweight. My bad. But yeah, good one for Tyson Pedro. This is his second fight winning from his way back. He beat Ike Villanueva and then just beat Henry Hunsucker. So yeah, good win for him. Let's move on up the card to a solid way to open up the card too. This was the what do you even call this? The early prelim, or not early prelim, the prelim go to main card or whatever, to go home to main card. Solid fight. I think so Marcin Tybura did win by decision. I thought Romanov did pretty well in the first round. Like first round, I don't think Marcin Tybura even landed a shot. It felt like he dominated the whole round. It was like tossing him around multiple times. I think he landed like 50 plus shots on the ground. I'm not sure how it wasn't really scored a 10-8. Maybe damage wise, there wasn't like crazy amount of damage there to really score him the round. Like a 10-8. Definitely won the round. I could definitely see a 10-8. In my mind, that's a 10-8 if Marcin Tybura does not really strike back. But yeah, it looks like they gave Romanov round 1 and then the rest to Tybura. But yeah, it was a majority decision to Tybura. I guess it's a solid win. Romanov probably could have iced it off if he would have taken him down. And like the last round, I felt like it was pretty like close. Could have taken him down to 1, but he is no longer undefeated in that division. So yeah, let's move on up the card. Nothing crazy in that fight. Yeah, 2 really big guys. Let's be real. 2 really big dudes. But yeah, let's move on up the card to Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. I believe I said that right. I haven't gotten it right ever. Yeah, Dvalishvili. It was an alright fight. Jose Aldo, I think he won the first round, if I believe. Hit the harder shots. His knees were really good when Merab would rush at him. He would throw like a leg kick, a jab, and then Merab would go for his combo and then throw a knee and then back out. Those knees were very powerful, very damaging. So I gave the first round to him. Second and third round, Merab would basically hold him against the fence. and knee him, trying to take him down, but would just knee him, elbow him. Yeah. Third round, Aldo had like no urgency to try to win the fight. I think, if I'm not mistaken, his corner told him to just like stall. I'm not too sure though. I could be completely wrong on that, but I thought I heard his corner say to stall, like he's winning the fight and things like that. Don't be too worried, which is why he's circling around the fence. And was surprised when he did lose by the decision, which I was super surprised about. I don't even know how that's possible. How he's surprised by that. Lost the second and third round. But yeah, solid win for Merab. This was probably the worst case scenario. Merab's not a bad fighter, but he's not going to fight for the title in bantamweight as long as Aljo is the champion. So I think he's going down, is what I hear. To flyweight, I believe, is what he said. So yeah, now we're stuck with not really a contender for Aljo. I mean, it'll probably be Yanan versus Sean O'Malley. If Sean O'Malley wins, he gets the title shot. If Yanan wins, he should fight Chito Vera, but then that holds up the division. So you see the predicament we get. Maybe you do Chito Vera gets the title shot, which I don't know. He just beat Dominic Cruz, who was like number 7 or number 9 or something like that. Because the title shot, you do like TJ versus Yanan. But yeah, very interesting fight. Very interesting stuff coming after this. I don't know what's next for Aldo. Maybe do Aldo versus Cruz. I mean, that'd be a fun fight. They're both coming off losses. But yeah, let's move on up the card to our co-main event, Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. Paulo Costa does win this fight by decision, which I believe is the correct decision. Yeah, Paulo Costa, I think, wins the first and third round. Luke Rockhold did look pretty solid in here. Gassed out pretty early, probably because of the elevation and the fact that there's blood coming out of his nose into his mouth and all that. Not very good for him. But I thought there was a lot of chances Paulo Costa could have won this fight. Could have won in this fight. He was just going for the body quite a bit, which is really weird. I'm like, dude, his head is like... the hit target on his head, like, you just need to hit it a few times and he'll go. I just don't understand why he's going to the body so much. I understand it if it was like a different opponent, but yeah, Luke Rockhold still pretty good on the feet. Had some really good kicks. Did like a tornado kick to the body, which was pretty cool. Still really good on the ground, especially. But yeah, there's a couple moments in the fight, I think, especially in the second round, where Luke Rockhold would counter Paulo Costa pretty well. Would stun him a little bit. Even in like the second or third round, like Luke Rockhold would put his hands on his knees in the middle of the cage, just like, Paulo, come on, just finish this off. I wonder if he had a bet on himself to win a decision. That's what it seems like. Yeah, good win for Paulo Costa. Luke Rockhold does retire, so best of luck to him. It was very nice to see. It was very nice to see him retire. Not like in a spiteful way, but more of a he got his cheers, he got his standing ovation. He did really well on the fight, and it was like a sloppy fight, but he did pretty solid. A full circle moment, kinda. But yeah, he was getting cheered. Good for him. Happy he was able to have that moment. And yeah, good win, or not good win for Luke Rockhold, but good win for Paulo Costa. Probably could have won a few times by KOing Rockhold. He had him hurt a few times. But yeah, good win for Paulo Costa. Best of luck to Luke Rockhold. And we get to the main event of the evening. And we get a new UFC welterweight champion. And I'm so excited. Yeah, let's just get into it. I was very emotional, very angry at this fight initially. I think I had Leon Edwards as a very, very high, underdog on this. That even makes sense. Like a very, I wouldn't say probable, but a very good underdog on the card. But I did choose Usman. But I chose Leon, saying like, watch out for him. Plus 300 is ridiculous. How can you not take this? But yeah, crazy fight. First round, I wrote notes on this for majority of the round. First round, Edwards wins. I believe Usman puts him up against the cage. Edwards is able to take him down, get him full mount, hit him a couple times, reverse position, take his back, and then I believe Usman does do a glove grab there. I was counting up a bunch of penalties that I saw Usman do during the fight that really, really bothered me. Kind of stupid in general, but like the cheating gets like overwhelming. I'm not gonna get into the fact that like he does juice, but this is Usman, by the way. Like I'm not gonna get into it, but it seems very obvious to me. But obviously there's no evidence to like there's evidence showing on his body that that he juices, but there's not like hard proof evidence that he tests positive. But the cheating in the cage, I can see it with my own eyes. That's hard proof evidence. But yeah, Usman was tucking the gloves, putting his fingers in the glove, in Leon Edwards' gloves, so he couldn't get it around his neck. Yeah, that was a 10-9 for Edwards for the first round. Second round, Usman has multiple cage grabs in that round. There's an eye poke from Edwards, which was like iffy. Initially, I didn't think it even went in Usman's eyes, but it kind of just like goes right here. So I'm not gonna get too mad about that, but it was a little weird. Let's see, and then I think I put Usman won that round because of the punches against the cage. There were some very damaging punches against Leon Edwards. During the fight, you can see multiple times where like Leon Edwards like covers his face and Usman just like starts rattling out punches, and Leon drop his guard and start punching. But yeah, so I went with Usman that round, 10-9 Usman. I think the cage grabs kind of stopped Edwards from taking Usman down, which is very annoying. I think the commentary team even pointed it out too, which was very nice to see them do. I think in the third round, Usman did grapple, grabbed the gloves again, put his toes in the cage against the fence. I believe, yeah, I give that one 10-9 Usman. He did a lot more ground and pound there. I think one of the rounds, I kind of lost it after the third round. I was like very annoyed. Fourth round, I just put one cage grab. Usman did have one. I think he was holding him against the cage. But there was one point where Leon Edwards was getting up, and finally he was like, shit, like if this dude's going to start using cages, start grabbing my gloves and things like that, like I'm going to start using it. So he grabbed the cage to get up, and then of course Herb Dean stops the fight and was like, oh no, you can't grab the cage, like separate, we're going to put you guys back into position. I'm like, oh my god, like we can't be serious right now. Like like Usman did not grab the cage multiple times before this, and now you're making them stand up and do the same position. Like that bothers me quite a bit. I think there was another moment, I think in the fourth round, there was a cage grab, and then there was a nut shot. I think that was either the fourth round or a fifth round. Leon like hits the belt of Usman, and Usman's like, oh, like another fake nut shot. Like it just really bothered me. All the cheating in the fight really bothered me. I was like, Jesus, is this like what we're gonna do to get Usman to a championship or something? Like not championship, but another defense. Like it really bothered me. Beyond the fifth round, when all hope was lost, when the fight looked like it was done, Leon gets the perfect combo. It was not lucky at all. It was a perfect head kick. I think commentary was talking about it before it, but sets it up beautifully. There's he did a left jab feint and brought it, or yeah, I think it was his left hand feint, and then boom, head kick with his left foot, completely flatlines Usman. Oh my goodness, it was an absolute crazy moment. Can't describe how crazy it was. Completely sends him out cold. Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say. I don't get happy when people get knocked out. Like it's like seeing Usman get knocked out was a really weird feeling because I never thought I'd see it happen, especially with his eyes open. Like that was kind of like what the fuck, a moment. But like I don't necessarily like seeing people get knocked out. But if there was a way where people get karma for cheating in a fight, and they had to pay for it, this would be your moment. Where Usman cheats multiple times in the fight and then gets head kick knocked out. Not that I like seeing that, but I feel like it was just a lot of built up shit from the previous fights that Usman was in, especially against Colby. Like Colby, he cheated multiple times against Colby. I don't think I need to get into that. Back of the head shots for the first fight, fake nut shots. I think I don't know if it was a fake nut shot necessarily, but the eye poke. It was just a big giant thing. Like even grabbing the cage when Colby was taking him down in the second fight. But yeah, there's not too much after that. It just seems like when he's really tested, he goes to cheating a lot, and it really bothers me in the fight because you got to realize like these guys have families and like there's a difference between like getting KO'd and dying, but like they're putting their lives out there, their health and stuff like that. So when you see people cheating and you see people like gaining a specific big advantage over everybody else and being called the GOAT, being called one of the greatest of all times in their division, it gets annoying. But yeah, all the cheating in the fight came back to haunt Usman, and he did get flatline KO'd. The difference between Leon Edwards' kick and say like a Colby kick, Colby I think landed with like a shin with Usman. Like Colby's technique is obviously not good on the feet. He's a grappler, of course, but Leon Edwards perfectly with the foot. Whew, it's a beautiful kick. With a minute left to go in the 5th round. Oh, what a moment! We had 2 moments like that, like freaking Yuri and Leon Edwards. Yeah, what happens after this fight? I expect Usman to take a lot of time off, probably 6 to 8 months, maybe even more. Division has to go on. Usman does deserve a title rematch, but I think he should wait a little bit. I don't think we need to hold the division up for that long. But I like winner of Khamzat versus Nate. Obviously, Nate's leaving, so if Khamzat wins, which he likely will, should face Leon Edwards. And I think Kamaru should wait for that fight. Even if Khamzat wins, Kamaru deserves a rematch. Colby, Masvidal thinks he deserves a shot against Leon Edwards. Edwards says he needs a win. That won't happen. Colby, maybe Sean Brady versus Bilal Muhammad. Maybe the winner of that. I'm not too sure. Maybe Gilbert Burns in Brazil. But I think Gilbert Burns wants to fight before the end of the year. I don't even know how Colby's neck is going to be. I'll get into it in a later video. But a great win for Leon Edwards. Very interesting to see how the division goes. Hopefully we start moving in the division. Hopefully we don't get like 6 months, 8 months. We have to wait for another match. Yeah, good win for Leon Edwards. Absolutely ridiculous KO. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. I don't even know what video to make at this point. And I guess Tony Ferguson and Li Jingliang came out recently and made for UFC 279 co-main event, which is wonderful. Definitely worth $75 for that card, but they should make it free. I don't know if they can do that, but they should make it free. But yeah, I might make that video tomorrow. I'll make it at some point, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys